and his love.
$176,654 on Peril. And this is Mr. William Shakespeare from Stratford-on-Avon, who has amassed a total of $9,765,432. Will he take over the spot of Greg Ferrara as the ultimate Peril champion? We'll find out today on Peril. This is Peril! Please welcome a former riverboat pilot turned writer from Florida, Missouri. This is Mark Twain. Our next contestants, two migrant farm workers, one with a dream and one with a rabbit. Please welcome Lenny and George. Our next contestant, an AP government teacher as well as a parking lot attendant, lawn servicer, and a paper boy. Please welcome Mr. Walt Sharkey. And our final contestant, our returning champion who enjoys dressing up men as women. Please welcome Mr. William Shakespeare.
And now introducing the host of Peril, Seth Arco.
Thank you everybody. Thank you. Well, I guess we're all ready for another game of questions and answers, and well, let's just get started. Well, I see our board is all set up. Let's take a review of the categories for today's round in Peril. We have American Lit, British Lit, Classic Lit, Foreign Lit, and Potluck. Okay, players, are we all ready?
Yeah. George?
Yeah. Okay, then let's begin. Peril! Mr. Shakespeare, you won the toss backstage. Would you please request the first category?
American Lit 100.
Okay. It wouldn't be wise to mow his leaves of grass. Mr. Shakespeare.
Walt Whitman.
I'm sorry, you didn't phrase your answer in the form of a question, therefore we're not going to be able to give you the points.
My buzzer doesn't work. I beat him to the buzzer.
Once again, I'm sorry, Mr. Walt Sharkey, you're not going to be able to do anything about this until the end of the round. I'm sorry. Mr. Shakespeare, would you move on to the next category, please?
Yes. Brit Lit for 100, please. Titus.
My name is Seth, not Titus. Okay. The main character in this story may have been called a Grendelbuster.
Beowulf. Beowulf.
Once again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to give you that one. You didn't form it in the way of a question, so we're not going to be able to give that to you.
This buzzer doesn't work.
That sounds like a personal problem to me, Walt. That sounds like a personal problem.
It's a $100 problem to me.
Can we move on, Mr. Shakespeare? Pick the next category, please, and try to form your answers in the form of a question.
Thank you, Titus. American Lit 200.
This famous piece of American literature lets you shut up if you don't want to talk. Mark Twain.
Psychology, I know this one, Titus.
Oh, yeah.
George?
My name is Seth.
Okay. What is the Constitution?
Well, that's correct.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Mark.
Wait a minute. There is a story behind this, you know.
Okay, Mr. Twain.
Yes?
We're going to have to confine our stories to after the game.
George? Well, okay. So I'll keep it in mind.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Twain.
Yes, sir.
Would you like
Can
to...
we get the buzzers fixed?
We'll get those...
The buzzers are fine. The buzzers are fine.
We'll get those to you soon, Mr. Walt Sharky. Mr. Twain, would you like to pick the next category, please?
Well, let's see. I'll go with American Lit for $300, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Quoteth this author, nevermore. William Shakespeare.
Yes, Titus. Who is Poe?
That is right. You did get it in the form of a question, so therefore you get the points. Congratulations, Mr. Shakespeare. Would you like to pick the next category, please?
Yes. Peril for 200.
Gather the rosebuds while ye may. Mr. Shakespeare.
Two versions, one at a time.
What? Mr. Shakespeare, once again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to give you that one. You didn't phrase it in the form of a question. So therefore, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to get points for that one. But you can request the next category.
Classic Lit 100.
Okay. If she were still around today, she'd probably live in Rochester, New York, that is.
I know this one too.
Yes, Mr.
So
Twain.
do I, and the buzzer still isn't working.
I'm sorry, once again, Mr. Sharkey, you're not going to be able to get that one by on us.
Sorry.
Mr.
sorry.
Twain, please
Yes.
proceed with your answer.
The answer, my dear Titus, is Jane Eyre. You know, I once had a girlfriend named
Excuse
Jane.
me. That's not right. You did not form that in the form of a question.
Well, okay, who is Jane Eyre?
I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to give this to you. Second tries just don't count here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, all right.
I'm real sorry about this.
Yeah.
Maybe next time. You
Yeah.
can pick the next category though if you'd like.
All right. Well, I'll try again. Classic Lit for $200, please.
For $200. This classic by John R. Weiss is a much better version of Gilligan's Island.
I know this one too.
Mr. Twain.
What is Miss Family Robinson?
Why, that is correct.
Yes, it is.
Twain.
All right. Okay, well, let me see here. I think since I'm doing so well in Classic Lit, I'll go for Classic Lit for $300, please.
For $300. The French would call this classic by Alcott Petite Femme and Petit Homme.
You don't get this one.
Yes, Mr. Shakespeare.
With our little men and little women.
Why, that's correct. And since you did phrase that in the form of a question, we're going to be able to give those to you. Thank you, Mr. Shakespeare. Would you like to pick the next category, please?
Yes, Titus.
My name is Seth. Seth.
Yes, Titus. Peril for 300.
British literature for $300. This man may have been in league with the church lady in exposing Satan.
John Milton. Who is John Milton?
That's correct, Mr. Shakespeare. Thank you.
Gee.
Mr. Sharkey, you seem to be turning a bit red here.
The buzzer still doesn't work. I've known every answer in the round so far, and I haven't got the buzzer yet.
Don't blame it on the buzzer.
Blame it on the rain, George.
Well, Mr. Shakespeare, would you like to select the next category, please?
Yes, foreign lit for 100. Titus.
Sad.
Petruchio. 100, please.
Okay. The Utopia of El Dorado highlighted this novel by Voltaire.
Which is Canadine?
That is correct, Mr. Shakespeare. We're very glad that you got that answer in the form of a question. Would you like to select the next answer, please?
Yes, foreign lit for 200.
For $200.
Titus. Petruchio, sorry.
Titus was not good. Petruchio is not good. My name is Seth.
Okay.
George?
Okay. Seth. Okay.
George.
Author of The Emperor's New Clothes. Mr. Shakespeare.
Who is Hans Christian Andersen?
That is correct, Mr. Shakespeare. And once again, you got this in the form of a question. So you do get credit for this answer.
Thank you, Benvolio. Foreign lit for 300.
For $300. His Struggle, a German success in the 40s.
It works! Now it works!
Mr.
Sharkey! Around and it
Mr. Walt
works!
Sharkey.
Who is Hitler?
That is correct, Mr. Walt Sharkey. Congratulations, you're finally getting some points on the board.
I could be on the board a long time ago if the buzzer worked properly.
Well, it seems like a personal problem to me, Mr. Walt. Would you like to pick the next category, please?
Potluck for $100.
Okay. That seems to be a daily double. A daily double. Okay. Contestants, first of all, I'd like to explain the rules here. You may be familiar with our rival show, Jeopardy, where in daily doubles, the player who answers the question gets the daily double. In our show, we give everybody an opportunity. Therefore, I'd like to ask each of our players to place a wager, please. Mr. Twain.
Yes.
Please place a wager on this daily double.
Well, how much can I wager?
Well, you have approximately how much?
$400.
$400. Well, you can risk up to $500 in this single Peril.
Oh, okay. I'll risk $15.75. Thank you.
$15.75.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lenny and George, we haven't heard much from you. Would you like to place a wager?
George, $10, George.
No.
You can bet up to $500.
$500. It'll be $500.
George.
Okay. George
George.
and Lenny, I take it. George. Walt Sharkey, would you like to place a wager here?
$500.
$500. And Mr. William Shakespeare, who's doing quite well in this round, would you place a wager, please?
Thank you, Juliet. 1066, please.
1066.
Yes.
George.
1066.
Okay. Okay. Please, this is going to be an audio daily double, so we'd like you to name this song.
George, and zigzag, George and zigzag, George and zigzag,
Zigzag is correct.
Zigzag.
Zigzag is correct.
George is correct, George.
Okay, Mr. Lenny, I'd like you to settle down back there. You seem to be causing a ruckus.
George,
Seth.
George.
Okay. Lenny and George, since you gave the last correct answer, we'd like you to place the next one, or place the next category.
I'll take potluck for 200.
Okay, sounds good. We have another daily double, and once again, I'm going to have to ask all the players to please place a bet. Mr. Twain.
Well, I came in with a comment. By golly gee, I'll go out with it. So this time I think I'm going to bet $450.
Oh, any reason dealing with comment, or is that another story?
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Lenny and George, please.
George. $5, George. $5, George. $5. George, $5.
No, you stupid. $500. It'll be
The $500 that you have now, you're going to risk it all.
$500.
Okay, Mr. Walt Sharkey, please, place your wager.
I'm betting this category will be government. $500.
$500. And Mr. Shakespeare.
Yes, 1492.
$14.92.
1492. George. Thank you, Romeo.
Seth. Okay,
Benvolio.
forget it.
Is this historically accurate?
I don't know. Okay, here's the question. It's a math category, actually. A box contains 4 red and 6 white balls. One ball is drawn from the box and replaced by a white ball. Then 2 more balls are drawn. What is the probability that the second box drawn will produce 2 balls of the same color?
George, 3775, George. Yeah, George, 3775. George.
Why, that's correct.
George.
That's correct, Mr. Lenny and Mr. George.
George.
That's correct.
Correct, Mr. George.
Correct.
Once again,
Correct.
Lenny and George have come up with the correct answer once again.
George.
And I would like them to please place, well, basically it's our last question, so potluck for 300 would it be?
George.
Yes.
Okay then. Potluck for $300. Blank Washington Carver came up with many inventions and came up with new ways to use the peanut.
What is George? What is George? What is George?
Mr. Lenny, you seem to be the brains of this operation. You're getting everyone right.
George.
Oh, he's saying George all the time. Jiminy Christmas
Who doesn't know anything
What is
else?
this?
Fix.
I'm sorry, George is the correct answer.
George.
George.
He's Looney Tunes and he gets it right.
I'm sorry. Well, that brings us to the end of the first round of Peril, and we're going to break for commercial, and then we'll be right back. I have at the end of.
Go.
Listen to the
Listen to the fabulous sounds of the ink spots as they go into your heart with melodious glee.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. It keeps going and going and going.
Okay, we're back for our double peril. Okay, players, let's go over your let's go over first of all the categories in this new round of peril. We have history and Hank, poetry, P words, language, and finally government. A favorite of yours, Mr. Sharkey. All right, players, let's first of all go through your scores at the end of single peril. Mr. Twain.
$500 for me.
Okay, George and Lenny, please.
$2,000.
Well, Walt Sharkey, please.
I have $300 and a buzzer that doesn't work.
Okay. Okay, I believe we fixed that problem during the commercial break.
Oh, I hope so.
Okay, and William Shakespeare, please.
$1,200.
Okay, let's hope you get some questions right in the form of questions this time. Okay, Mr. Shakespeare. And now,
questions.
and now on with double peril. Mr. Shakespeare, please go for the first category.
Government for 200.
He was the first to be called king in England.
Egbert.
Mr. Shakespeare, you did not heed my warning. Please give your answers in the form of a question. This is the last time.
The next one will be, or it won't be.
Sorry, Bill.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shakespeare. Though you did give an incorrect response, please answer. Give us the next category, please.
Government for $400, please.
Government for $400. This leader of France served a term concurrent to George III of England. Mr. Twain, you
I know it, I do.
See, he's got the same problem I've had.
Well, I think this is just...
There it is.
Mr. Twain.
Yes. Who is Napoleon?
Napoleon it is. And thank you for that correct response,
Yes.
Mr. Twain.
Okay, I'll go on with government for $600, please.
Government for 6. Word used when one overthrows an existing government by force.
I know that one too. What is a coup d'etat?
A what?
A coup, you know, a coup.
A coup? Do you mean a coup?
A coup, yeah, that.
Okay, Mr. Twain, you have a very unique style of speaking.
Well, you know, it's the right answer, though, isn't it?
It is the correct answer, and we're glad to give you that answer.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Twain. Would you like to give us the next response?
Let me see. Since we're done with government here, and Mr. Sharkey over here didn't get, let's go with language for $200, please.
Well, that seems to be a daily double.
Woo-wee!
All right. Players, please give me your wagers. Mr. Twain.
Okay, well, last time I went a little bit radical. This time I'm going to be a little bit more conservative. I'll take $50, please.
$50 for your daily double.
$50, yes.
Lenny and George?
George?
Yes?
$1, George?
No. $500 again.
$500 again.
George?
Okay, are you sure you want to bet $500?
I'm
George?
positive.
George?
Witness.
George?
Okay. Mr. Walt Sharkey, please.
Well, since I got nowhere with the government, we'll go $500 for language.
Okay, and William Shakespeare, please.
1943.
1943. Okay, $1,943? Is that your wager?
Yes.
Seeing as how you only have $1,200, Mr. Shakespeare, we're not going to be able to give that to you. You're going to have to pick another wager, please.
2.
George. 1, 2, George. 1, 2, George. George. 1, 2.
$2?
George.
$2.
George.
$2. Please, Mr. Lenny, confine your comments.
George. Please.
Okay, this happens to be a video daily double. And I'm going to whip out my video daily double sign and we'll see what the category is about. Well, it seems to be foreign languages. Players, for your wagers, please identify this statement in Hebrew.
George.
Yes, to go to
What? You have to go to the bathroom?
That's correct! Mr. Lenny and Mr. George. Ani rotzel lalechet labeit shimush. I have to go to the bathroom. That's correct.
No, he was just saying he had to go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom, George. See?
He's
What?
trying to
You have
use
to go
the
to the
zipper. He
bathroom.
doesn't know the answer to the question.
Players, please. I'm sorry, they did get the correct answer, and that's just the way it's going to have to be. Let's move on to our next category. Lenny and George, please give us the next.
George. We'll take H&H for 200. George.
You mean history and Hank?
Hank and history, George.
Okay.
George.
Mr. Shakespeare. Or Mr. Lenny and George.
Do not insult me so, Benvolio.
Okay. Well,
Take this.
okay. This famous Hank was responsible for the murder of Thomas A. Becket. Mr. Walt Sharkey.
Henry II.
Henry II is correct. Mr. Walt Sharkey.
I knew him personally.
Oh, really?
Boy, I bet you just know them all.
Mr. Twain, please confine your remarks.
Sam.
Where's your
Okay,
name, George?
Mr. Sharkey, would you please give us the next...
History and Hank for $400.
History and Hank for 4. This Hank had almost as many wives as the number following his name. Yes, that was... I didn't get the person who... Mr. Walt
My
Sharkey.
buzzer got down. Who is Henry VIII?
It's mine.
Mine.
I believe I see a very truthful glare in Mr. Sharkey's eyes. Therefore, I'm going to give him the correct response. Mr. Shakespeare, please confine your comments and your looks, please.
George.
Okay, Mr. Walt Sharkey, please give us the next
History and Hank for $600.
for $600. History and Hank. This Hank blew away 714 sent by the Babe, and eventually got 755. Mr. Walt Sharkey.
Who is Henry Aaron?
Hank Henry Aaron, that is correct. And we're very proud that we know our baseball history here in
What kind of
Peril.
name is Aaron?
I can tell you from Hank and Henry cheat.
Just got to know your history and your Hanks.
I'm sorry there, Mr. Twain.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next category, please, Mr. Sharkey.
Language for $400.
Language for 4.
What a jerk.
Mr. Twain, we can't have these sort of outbursts from
George.
Okay, language for $400. Correctly spell the English for carpe diem. Mr. Shakespeare.
What is seize the day?
I'm sorry, that is wrong. Though you did phrase it in the form of a question, the answer is SIEZETHEDAY.
Technicality.
I am very sorry, Mr. Shakespeare, but you will give us the next answer.
Poetry for 400, please.
Poetry for 4. Simple Japanese 17-syllable poem in praise of nature. Who was that? Mr. Walt Sharkey.
What is haiku?
Haiku is correct. Once again, Mr. Sharkey,
Do it away from me.
you seem to be doing much better in this round than the last.
Well, I hope so.
Very happy for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're just elated.
please, I'm going to have to kick you out of this. Okay. Okay. Please give us our next
George?
category. Well,
P words for $400.
P for 4. Blank in boots. Mr. Twain.
Yes. What is posh? Posh. George. Posh and roots. George.
I'm sorry.
After his frog.
I'm sorry. Pos?
Yeah.
How do you spell that? give you that one too.
Yes, you would.
Okay. Mr. Twain, would you give us the next statement, please?
Well, I think I'm going to have to go for language for $600.
Language for 6. Okay, would you... Oh, okay. Hello in French.
I know this one too.
Mr. Twain?
Yes, I do have a story about this, and this time I am going to say my story, thank you. What is bonjour?
Bonjour is correct.
Yes, you know, earlier when we were talking about Napoleon, I met Napoleon in France one time. Yes, it was in 1840. 1840, I met Napoleon, and that's where I learned my French. My French comes from Napoleon. You may think it's uncharacteristic of France, but it's French. Bonjour.
You both learned it in the grave then.
This guy thinks she's funny.
I knew Napoleon personally.
Yes, I bet you did. You know them all.
Okay, Mr. Twain, please give us our next category.
Well, let me see. I guess I'm going to have to go with poetry for 600. 200. 200. 600, 200. Same thing.
Okay, poetry for 2. A death lament. Gray wrote one in a country churchyard.
What is an elegy?
Please wait till I recognize you, but yes, that is correct. What is an elegy? Mr. Shakespeare. Would you please like to give us our next category, please?
This is like a summer's day. Poetry for 600, please.
Poetry for 600. Coleridge's idle painted ship sailed there. Mr. Shakespeare.
Where is the painted ocean?
The painted ocean is correct once again, Mr. Shakespeare. I must say you are progressing quite well in this round. Could you please give us our next statement, please?
Yes, Romeo. P words for 200, please.
P for 2. Name of the profession of Octavio Paz.
Poet.
Mr. Shakespeare, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to give that to you. Bless you, Mr. George. We're not going to be able to give that one to you. You did not, once again, phrase that in the form of a question. Please don't get so excited next time. Mr. Shakespeare?
Poet.
Once again, you did not phrase that in the form of a question. I'm sorry. Would you please pick our last category?
P words for 600, please.
P words for 6, which is the last category in double peril. P for 6, the Latin for the male head of a family.
What?
Mr. Shakespeare?
What is patriarch?
Patriarch is correct, Mr. Shakespeare. And I must say you have progressed very well at the end of this round.
Thank you, Titus.
Now, I'd like you all, the players, to please give us a total of all their scores that they have gotten for the first 2 rounds of Peril, and then we'll go right into Final Peril.
Well, I have $2,500.
$2,500. Okay, George and Lenny, please.
We have $4,000.
$4,000.
I don't know.
Oh.
I got $4,000.
Oh, Mr. Walcharkey, please.
I have $1,900.
$1,900, a very respectable amount. And Mr. William Shakespeare.
Yes, Othello. 200. 2,200. Hamlet.
Seth. Not Hamlet, not Octavio, not anybody but Seth, please.
Baptisma.
Okay.
George.
Okay. Players, we're now going to go into the Final Peril. The category for Final Peril is nations. Nations. I'd like you all to please place your wagers on nations. You can have a few seconds to think about it. And while we listen to a little bit of music, please. Okay. Please place all your wagers. Mr. Twain.
Do I say my wager now?
Your wager, please.
Okay. Well, since they have 4,000, I guess I'm just going to have to wager $24,988.
24,000. I'm afraid you don't have that much.
Oh. Well, then I'll make it $2,488.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Lenny and Mr. George, please.
I'd like to bet it all $4,000.
Okay, Mr. George.
You've never seen that much money in your life.
Never will.
Please, Mr. Waltraki, please confine your comments. Okay, contestants. Waltraki, please give us your wager.
$1,899.
$18.99. Gonna risk all but one, huh?
All but one.
All right.
Going home money.
Okay. Mr. William Shakespeare, please.
I will bet it all.
All of it.
2,200.
You are a high risk taker, Mr. Shakespeare.
And a playwright.
Well, okay. Our final Peril clue is this. Other than the Soviet Union, the only nation located on 2 continents. We'll give you a few seconds to think about that, players. Okay, players. We're going to start off with Mr. Mark Twain. Mr.
Yes,
Twain,
sir.
please give us your response.
What is Honduras?
Honduras.
Honduras, that's right.
Okay. I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
What? Oh, gee whiz.
Let's move on to Mr. William Shakespeare. Mr. Shakespeare, please, your answer.
I have been all over the world, and I know that it is England.
I am sorry, Mr. Shakespeare, but England is incorrect for this question. Maybe for another one it was right, but for this one it's wrong. Sorry, you lose everything. Mr. Walt Sharkey, please give us your educated response.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. From a government teacher, I would have expected more, but unfortunately, you're wrong. We're sorry, you're going to be left with $1 take-home money.
That is more than I.
And finally, to George and Lenny. Well, doesn't look like anybody's going to get this one right, but you might as well contribute an answer.
Congo.
What are you, a turkey?
Turkey! That is correct! Lenny and George.
No, they said no. He called him a turkey.
He doesn't know what they're talking about.
No, that's not fair.
Well, I'd like to thank Mr. Lenny and Mr. George.
It's not the
They
way it's
were-
supposed to be. It's not fair.
Sorry, Mr. Twain. Mr. George, congratulations.
What's going on?
What's going on? Thank you for a fine game, Mr. Twain.
She didn't work in the Eagles. Gold rush flying out.
We do have some lovely parting gifts
Come
for
in
you.
here, golly.
We do have some lovely parting gifts for you.
Gosh. It stopped. Here, gee.
Uh,
Well, might as well. Let's go. Come on.
we do have some lovely parting gifts for you. First for our third place, Mr. Bill Shakespeare, we have a lovely Nintendo action set with a copy of the Peril home game. Next, for our second place contestant, Mr. Sharkey, a lovely Yamaha Portasound PSS 270 keyboard. And finally, for our second runner-up,
George.
Mr. Mark Twain, get a brand new car!
Whoa! Never had one of these before. Oh, here's the horse and buggy.
Well, we're moving to the modern age now.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. George, that was great. Woo-wee. Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. George, congratulations. Car. Bill, congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, we got a hat back there.
Okay, thank you everybody very much. First I'd like to bring out Mr. Mark Twain. George Kafalis, thank you very much.
The last time I'm ever doing this, you know.
Okay,
Thank you.
our government teacher, Mr. Walt Sharkey. Thank you very much, Mr. Sharkey. Lenny, Mr. Costas Kafalis.
Hey, that's me.
Yay.
Oh.
Thank you very much. George, my little brother Andy.
All right.
My little brother Andy. Thank you very much, Mr. Andy. Okay. Mr. William Shakespeare. the great Aaron Archer himself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like the clothes.
Our camera person and lovely person and who came up with the idea for the commercial, Miss Amanda Arco, my sister. And finally, my mother, Mrs. Kathy Arco, who was one of our solid gold dancers.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and that's all.
Really cute.
And I'm Seth Arco. Thank you.
All right.
Give him an A.